There's been a lot of misinformation, and a lot of us are hungry to, get out there and teach and express ourselves and vindicate the ancestors. But unfortunately, a lot of the information that we're propagating is not actually correct at this time. So we're not entering the age of Aquarius, just to make one correction, because Aquarius is a Greek word that masculinizes feminine energy. So therefore, when you put the US on the end of a word for the Greeks, it masculizes the energy. So we're actually entering the age of Aku Eru, which is the divine mother. It's an actual fact. So really, the energy of the time is the rise of, because creation originally began with a creatress, and this is what most people don't know. When you look at the oldest iconography or symbols of our ancient kingdom, you see that it was a great mother giving birth to a divine king. So it was the passive that gave birth to the active. It was the feminine principle that gave birth to the masculine principle, and therefore creation, meaning at the point which things become manifest, at the point which energy moves as waves, symbolizes serpents for our ancient ancestors. At the point that that energy moves as waves and becomes force lines, and those force lines cross, and we call those so-called subatomic energy. At the point that it does that, that's a feminine reality. She manifests things. Yeah. So matter, mother, and matrix are all related. It's all rooted in the same word. So now they have tricked us once again into believing that at this time there's going to be a man who's going to come and save you from all the harm that the other men have created on the earth by polluting the air, polluting the land, polluting the water, and all of these originally feminine principles. So we would like to call to ladies to return to your ancient knowing, get out from the shadow of a man and realize yourself and be yourself, because originally you was the original teachers of humanity. And and so and this has all been suppressed. It's like an amazing concept that we're dealing with. I spent most of my life under the direction of the ancestors. They contacted me at the lowest point of my life and directed me on what to do, led me all the way to to Africa, and then even myself as descendant of the Tutsis. My father and them are from East Africa, Tutsis and everything, which is really just ancient Sudanese, or they try to separate us into all these different concepts, but it's in your veins, it's in your blood. One thing I like to talk about for that is very specific, is that it's more than just looking like the gods. It's more than talking like the gods. We have to walk like the gods. It's more so about love is an action word. It's something that you do, so it's more about how we treat each other. We can come out here today and we can look like something, but then our lives don't reflect that. If we are divine, you feel me? If we are God's family, because we are the first people to manifest out of that dark energy and that dark matter in the universe. It's an actual fact. So they tell you that in the Bible, the God opens up saying, "Let there be light." That was the feminine principle, giving birth to the divine son. And as above, so below. On the earth, dark energy and dark matter becomes dark minds and dark bodies. This is what they don't want you to know. And so it's up to us to uncover our story, because this is the genius of the times. This is the genius of your ancestry, is that you are, like, sometimes we get down about the weight of the oppression that the world puts on us in every way. But the actual fact is, if life don't offer you resistance, you can't gain strength. Exactly. So the opposition has manifested on the earth to challenge you in every type of way, so that it can bring forth your mastery, that divine energy, that God inside of you, bring it back to the surface, and then you'll be able to master all his technology, master all of his chemicals that he put in your body, masquerading as preservatives and all these different type of things. It's time for us to heal. Some of us, when we come into this knowledge, we want to immediately jump to the heavens, when we don't start off by the basis, which is the earth. Clean up your earth, which is your body first, and then the earth that supports us second. Hey, what's up, Barry? Respect, King. Respect. Oh, what's up? Respect, King. Yeah, so all praise is due to Ahmad. That's what we say, and not ourselves. So, this is a good day, and also something else is major coming up that we're hoping to bring your attention to, is that, what about time? What signified the New Year's for Kas Nuba descendants? What signified our New Year's? What signified the New Year's for us was not an arbitrary linear concept of time that some man made up along the way. What signified time for us is when Sirius and the sun rose, and then it signified the flood of the Nile River. And that happens, the Kemetic New Year ends on September the 8th this year, and it begins on September the 9th. So we should all honor that in our thoughts, in our actions, in our behaviors. You feel me? Because, even in the Bible, for all the Bible-toting people, your Christ is made to say that the kingdom of heaven is within you. Basically, he's telling you that everything came from the inner to the outer. The whole sun, if everybody came from the Africans, where did the Africans come from? You said it came from the earth. But there was a time when the earth didn't exist. It came out of the sun. So where were they before there was an earth? You say that energy is not created or destroyed, it's only transformed. So where were they before there was a sun? Where were they? And see, this is what they don't want you to know. And this is why the same people that conquered you is not going to tell you your story. Because if he reveals to you your story, then he also reveals to you his crime. So therefore it's up to us to search through history and be diligent. You feel me? All praise is due to Amon, not myself. We're moving into the time of Heru, the divine mother. Originally, the king of the kings was a divine woman. Man can't sustain life. If you take a man and a baby, you put him over in the middle of the field, he gonna have to get up and go find something outside of himself to nurse that child with. You take a woman and you put her and the baby in that middle of that field, and she'll nurse that baby and keep that baby alive wherever she sits. So we're asking the women to look within and stop denying yourself and stand up. But at the same time, this is not about women throwing the men out. You feel me? This is all about you using your divine presence, your ability to heal, because the original salvation system was based upon the mastery of the great mother, which is, and her embodiment is nature. And after that, if you could master nature, you can master the black woman. This is what our ancestors wanted you to know. So everybody thinks they know, but we don't have no power. What is this knowledge designed to do? Everywhere you go, there's somebody talking about this knowledge, but what was it designed to do? This knowledge was designed to make the earth plane reflect the heavenly plane, because originally the heaven and the earth was the same place. That's why when you look at all the pyramids of Lower Kemet and Upper Kemet, which we now call Sudan, and the Lower Kamta, which we now call Egypt, when you look at that civilization, you'll see that it reflects all the stars on a certain part of the Milky Way. So therefore, all the stars that were in the southern heavens, but now they made you think that north is up. When has north become up for you? The highest part of the earth is Mount Kilimanjaro, sitting on the equator of the earth, being the apex, you know what I mean, being the medium point between all that comes down from the heavens and all that builds up from the earth. This is your story. Now we got our brothers out here saying we're Asiatics. We're not Asiatics. Our ancestors said they came from Anu, who existed at the foothills of the mountains of Moon and the Kilimanjaro. The mountains of the Moon are actually in the Congo, but then you have the mountains of the Moon in Kenya too. So they're telling you the Great Lakes area is your story. You came from the heavens to the earth, or how else can you explain your existence? If you came from two, that came from two, that came from two, that came from two, and then you realize all the way down to atoms and the so-called quarks and borons and leptons and all these different subatomic energies and all that, everything comes in pairs. So why are you sojourning alone? Think about that. If everything comes in pairs, where's your mate? Where's your complementary other? We don't have opposing others. We don't have opposing energies. We have complementary energies. So basically what I'm saying to you today is that return to your story. The enemy ain't gonna give it to you. Stop reading all them books by white people and Arabs and all that. I'm gonna keep it real. You think the enemy gonna tell you about you when he's claiming the land that usually belonged to your ancestors? Think about this. When all the wealth of the world was in your hands first. So if you throw away Africa, you threw away all scripture, and therefore anything goes. Because there was a promise made to certain people that if whoever soldiered to the end would get a mighty reward. They was talking about you. Why? Because when other people came into consciousness on the earth, you were already ruling it. You had Ma'at on the earth, and the heavenly kingdom was right here, so they couldn't tell you anything that you did not know. So what they did was they said, okay, we'll attack the people. And they started attacking the people, and your leadership, being in harmony with divine Ma'at, decided to withdraw the teachings from the earth for a while.